a part of Northwest by sharing its responsibilities in spreading cultural diversity and academic excellence of the university to the students back in India. On behalf of Northwest, we, the members of ISA, have been conducting many meetings in India to guide students who are planning their studies in US. ISA has been playing a very prominent role in conducting extracurricular activities like sports and game tournaments and many cultural events like potluck dinners, dandiya nights and several refreshment tours. And we are proud to say that ISA has been winning Mosaic title for the past 4 years. One of the most splendid and graceful events of ISA is ISA dinner. And our theme tonight is Sanskriti. Before that, I would like to call upon the dais Dr. Max Friedel, Faculty Senate President, to say a few words. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm Max Friedel. As President of Faculty Senate, it is really an honor to be invited to speak tonight and provide the welcome. What a wonderful banquet they have in store for us. Before we go too much further, though, I do have a confession to make. I do not speak many of the languages prominent in India, with the exception, well, on a good day, English. But I am curious, how many of you in this room speak 2 or more languages? Can I see a show of hands?
2 or more.
Okay, now keep your hands raised and lower them if you need to, but how many of you speak 3 or more? 4 or more? Holy nut, 5 or more? Okay, that is truly amazing. That is truly amazing. I feel very belittled right now. I do have a few words to say that I have been taught, and I will probably slaughter these, but acha. Yes? Close? TK? Ram? Okay, well, I'm not sure how close I was on those. I just hope I didn't say anything derogatory or I didn't mean to. I went over to France and thought I knew enough French. I studied French in school, so I thought, I can survive over there with French. So I have a story about that. You want to hear it? Sure. Okay, well, here it is. Even if you said no, I'm going to tell you the story. My wife, Jeannie, and I decided that we were going to go over to France for a while, and while we were over there, we got a group of students back here in the States to come over and join us. Well, one of the students happened to have a birthday on a particular day, and so Jeannie thought it'd be a great idea if we went into this French bakery and surprised him with the birthday cake. So we go into this French bakery, and there was a very short French woman who reminded me of what Hitler must have appeared like, and if he happened to be a woman, and she was standing behind the bakery counter on a platform, so she could see over the top of the bakery counter. And I was in line, and I stepped up, and I tried my best in French to indicate that I liked this individual-sized birthday cake, but it had a meringue topping to it. Well, she reached in with her tongs, pulled it out, dropped it on the floor. The meringue cracked, broke, but she put it in the box and was going to sell it to me anyway. And I thought, no, I don't think so. So I was trying to communicate with her that, I really don't want that one because you dropped it, so I'd like this one now. And so she was talking to me in French, and I was doing my best to try to communicate with her. There's a really tall gentleman behind me, and so he tapped me on the shoulder, and he could see that I was struggling. And so he said, "Excuse me, do you mind if I help you out?" I said, No, please do. And so he engaged in a conversation with this woman behind the counter, over the top of my head, and it was like a ping pong match. It was going back and forth and back and forth. I was totally lost, they were going so fast. And so pretty soon, she looks at me, she points at me, and she says in perfectly good English, "You have caused too much trouble in here, get out." So I was dumbfounded. Well, so I went out, she escorted me out of the little shop, and then behind me, she pulls down this metal grate and locks it. Well, Jeannie, my wife, was still inside. And I thought, I don't know how this is going to work out. And so I stood out there and I waited, thinking anytime, they're going to come out and they're going to raise this metal gate and she's going to walk out. Well, that didn't happen. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and then pretty soon, here comes Jeannie running down the hill from the sidewalk saying, Max, Max, I got your cake, I got your cake. Well, she went to another person inside, a young woman who was working in there, and made arrangements to buy another cake, the one that wasn't broken, and they let her out in the alley. And then, if you know anything about French alleys, they go forever. And they wind and they wind and they wind. And so she was walking all the way up this hill. Well, the other guy, the tall guy, was still in there too. And when he went out into the alley, he turned right, she turned left. Well, I guess the end of the alley was just right around the corner for him. But Jeannie went the other way and was going miles, it seemed, all the way up to the top of the hill. Well, anyway, the kid got his birthday cake, and that's the end of my story. I do want to thank some people tonight for their hard work in putting this beautiful evening together. Now, before I say these names, I do want to apologize up front. I have been practicing on these, and I know that I'm not going to do justice to the beautiful way in which your names are supposed to be pronounced. So if you happen to recognize your name, please stand up, would you please, and let all the friends here show our appreciation to you with some applause. Shravan. Good, but the word made sense, right? Okay. Rabani. Barat. Barat? Okay. Himabindu. This is a tough one. Tej Kumar. So. Okay, well, you'll have to give me lessons again on this one. Samput. And this one I know, Nikhil. I got to thinking about tonight's event, and I wondered, what in the world would these folks do in order to recognize the country of India in such a short amount of time that we have tonight? There's so many things to pick and choose from. Would it be their rich history? Would it be the fact that they're #1 in the world in rice output, or #1 in the world in wheat production, or #1 in the world in tea production, or #1 in the world in milk production? And all these are #1 in the world: butter, sugar, information technology experts, manufacture motorcycles, manufacture of auto parts, film production, all #1 in the world. But wait, there's more. Indians are the largest number of foreign students in the United States. Did you know that? India is one of the top 5 tourist destinations in the world and the fastest growing tourist economy in the world. India has the world's largest banking system with over 70,000 branches. India has the world's largest postal system, the world's largest railway system. Only India, Japan, and USA have built supercomputers indigenously. Over 100 multinational companies have research and development centers in India. 54% of India's population is below 25 years of age. Indians buy 2 million cell phone connections every month. India offers assistance to over 150 developing countries. India has written off debts of several heavily indebted countries. And India is among 6 countries that design, build, and launch satellites. So I don't know how in the world they're going, and there's so many more. I just give you some few highlights. The website went on for pages and pages and pages, so I don't know what we're in store for, but I'm sure it's going to be grand. So let's get on with it, shall we?
Good job.